What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I want to talk about active versus passive income in Splinterlands, because one thing that drives me a little crazy, sorry, just got to be honest, is when we talk about earnings in the game, and you get people complaining about how it's not worth the effort. And what I mean by that is like, okay, so for example, I'm going to give you my own numbers here. So you can see I play in gold, right? Or gold league, I should say, modern gold. And over the month of January, I earned about 2,500 SPS. At the current price, 2.3 cents, that comes out to close to like $700. And if you look at my what is needed in order for me to play at this level, my collection, like my main deck collection, is about $2,000. And then if you wanted to get about, let's just say, close to 200,000 SPS, it's going to cost you, I don't know, somewhere between like 4,000, 4,500, right? Now, I think that it's probably even worthwhile to rent that because SPS is being rented out for super cheap. But let's say you wanted to buy at the price of SPS, 2.3 cents right now. So again, this is just rough numbers because I'm not even considering how much I earn from actually staking the SPS, right? So I get additional SPS for staking as well as vouchers. Also, I'm not even counting how much I earn from tournaments or brawls or anything like that. This is literally just looking at the battle SPS in my overall summary for the past month. It might be somewhat higher. So $700 over, a little bit under 7K. In total, right, or 6,500. The math that I was running is anywhere between we'll say 11 to 12, maybe 13%. We can even round up to like 15% of an APR in total, right? If you want to be very generous with it. So, I put that out there, and even though this is gaming, none of this is financial advice, right? It's a lot of people look at that and say, well, for 15% APR, that's not like really worth the time. And you're absolutely right. I just want to let you know your feelings are validated. You are absolutely right. If you look at this and say, man, 15% APR is not worthwhile at all, well, that means that you don't enjoy the game enough, that you're too focused on the numbers. And so instead of trying to actively make money in the game, I would highly suggest, if you want to have exposure to Splinterlands, just play the game passively. You can do that with land, and I don't know what the APRs for that are right now, but you can do this. There's other vehicles to do this passively. You can do it with land. You can buy some nodes. Let's see, nodes right now, if you were to buy them on the secondary market, for example, I believe their APR is going for, let's see, nodes. Where are they at? Right there, 34%. So that's more than double playing. You could just be buying nodes off the secondary market if they're available, right? And you'd be earning vouchers and SPS daily. And that would, if you're buying them at the prices that they're listed at on Hive, not from the store themselves. All right, so that's 34% right there. Then we go to the pools, for example, and you could see right here, if you wanted to get into one of these other areas, I mean, DEC SPS is paying over 30%, vouchers and swap.hive are paying 30% or over 30%. Again, I'm not saying that any of these, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying that to go into them, and you should understand the risks that are involved with each of them, right? Even SPS swap.hive is over 30%. I personally like even just the DEC pools, right? DEC USD, DEC DAI. Again, those aren't paying necessarily as high, but my whole point with this is that if time is so valuable, and you look at playing the game as not being worthwhile, then don't play the game. And I'm not even saying this to be difficult with you or to be a smartass. I'm just literally saying there are other ways to earn passively in the game. So if you want to have access to or exposure to SPS, for example, you could go play the liquidity pool game. You don't have to play the actual game itself. You don't have to buy cards and then complain about the cards going down in value, right? Or the cards getting nerfed or getting balanced, or you just having a bad day with RNG. So there's multiple ways to earn within Splinterlands. And I think that's why it attracts so many people that come in with both the player and investor hat. But for many players who look at the game and say, well, it's not great, right? Or I don't like playing, it takes up too much time, whatever. all I'm saying is that you probably don't like the game for the game itself. And that's okay. I'm not trying to shame you, right? Because I think many people came into here because the returns were so high. There was so much money to be made, and so you kind of took it like a job. And now that it's starting to feel like a job, right? Because you put in all this energy and time and money into buying the assets and learning the game. Because of that, now you have this sunk cost where you feel like, oh, well, I just absolutely need to, right? I need to, and it sucks, and blah, blah, blah. But there's other avenues. That's all I'm trying to say. And this was spurred by a conversation I was having with someone recently who said, you know what? I think I'm just going to sell it all. I'm going to sell all my cards because I don't feel like playing anymore, but I still like what Splinterlands is doing. So selling all their cards and buying some SPS, right? Maybe they stake it, maybe they put it into LPs. I don't really know where they're going to go from there. But if you're having trouble rationalizing playing the game every day, you don't enjoy the game. And that's fine, because guess what? Even though I complain about the game all the time, I absolutely enjoy it. I show up for my 24 battles, and even though the RNG kicks my ass so many times and I hate the game and I quit it 20 times a day, I still enjoy it because I enjoy the game for what it is, right? And this is not a virtue signal. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you because I enjoy the game. I'm just literally letting you know that if you appreciate what Splinterlands is doing, but A, you don't have the time, B, you don't have the passion, C, you don't have whatever it is to play the game, you find yourself in a position where you just are not happy about, having to log in and play the game and how it's not up to par with other games. If that's you, just know that there are other avenues to have exposure to the game. And it's worthwhile to think about, because when I think about the fact of like, oh, if I'm earning 15% APR on my time, that sounds awful from an ROI perspective. My time could be so much more valuably used anywhere else. But this is my gaming time. This is a time that I choose to just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy. And for most of my life, I never had the opportunity to make a 15% APR on that. It was always a 0% APR. Now, I had a ton of fun, but I'm having fun now as well, and I'm making the APR. But if you're not having fun, there's higher APRs out there. Some of them not even within Splinterlands, but I just showed you a couple, and I think it's worthwhile to do your research. Again, none of this is financial advice, but I just feel like I'm getting a ton of comments, a ton of DMs, people complaining about the game, and I get it. It's never going to compete on that level with a lot of AAA, top tier studios out there. But that doesn't mean that the game is any less enjoyable for people who are in it, like myself and many others, who just enjoy the meta, they enjoy the changes, whatever it is, the rule sets. Again, I love it. I show up every day because I enjoy it. I complain about it because I'm passionate about it, but I still do enjoy it and love it. And if you don't, this is the last time I'll say it, if you don't, that's okay, because there's other ways to play around in the Splinterlands ecosystem and the game economy. And as I've said before, the game economy is what drew me to this project, more so than the game itself. So, there's just opportunities out there. And I wanted to talk about this, again, through the lens of like active versus passive investor. If you don't like the active part, that's okay. There's so many other passive avenues, and I highly recommend you go out and start to explore them. Again, I'm not saying that they're easy or that there's no risk involved, but they do offer you a way to get exposure to the game, to get exposure to the tokens within the game, and have your time to yourself, and not the frustration of your cards missing, even though you have the speed advantage and dodge and all this other garbage that, the RNG throws my way. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.